Hello. So this video is called You're Not Going Crazy, 15 Signs You're a Victim of Gaslighting. The only way you can describe how you feel is that you feel minimized. You feel crushed and smothered. You're constantly second guessing yourself, your feelings, your perceptions, your memories, and a small suffocated part inside of you wonders whether you're actually going crazy. You feel neurotic. You feel hypersensitive, and you feel an overwhelming sense of alienation. So, what is wrong with you? If you can identify with what I just read, you will most likely experience a sophisticated manipulation technique known as gaslighting. This technique undermines your entire perception of reality and can slowly creep into your relationship, friendship, family life, and work life. Although you might feel crazy, although you might feel imbalanced and irrational, there is still hope. So what is gaslighting? Inspired by the 1940 and 1944 films Gaslight, where a husband systematically manipulates his wife in order to make her feel crazy. The term gaslighting is now commonly used to describe behavior that is inherently manipulative. Gaslighting at its core is a form of emotional abuse, thought that slowly eats away at your ability to make judgments. Essentially, a gaslighter spins their negative, harmful, or destructive words and actions in their favor, deflecting the blame for their abusive deeds and pointing the finger at you. This is often done by making you feel overly sensitive, paranoid, mentally unstable, silly, unhinged, and many other sensations which cause you to doubt yourself. Commonly adopted by psychopathic, sociopathic, and narcissistic personality types of people. Gaslighting tends to eat away at you slowly until you realize that you're a shell of your former person you were. So, they have some examples here that I want to read. So, let's take a look at some examples. In a family scenario, Andrew's father is an angry, bitter man. Every day, Andrew is afraid to tip the balance of his father's mood because he often bursts out in fits of rage, calling Andrew a bastard and worthless little loser, among other hurtful names. When Andrew confronts his father about this aggressive name-calling, Andrew's father laughs and tells him to stop being so sensitive. Next, in a relationship scenario, Jade has been married for 5 years and has 2 small children with her husband, Mike. For the past few months, Jade has been trying to establish a small art shop, but when she asks for her husband's assistance, his mood darkens. I can't believe you're spending so much time on this shop. Don't you care about me? Don't you care about your kids? You're supposed to be mothering them, he exclaims. Jade is shocked, but I just wanted to help me with setting up the store, and I haven't been neglecting anyone. Mike comes up very close to Jade's face. You see, now you're denying it. When I married you, I thought you'd be there for your family. I should just take the kids and go already. Mike storms off. Later, when Jade sits down to talk with Mike about his threat, Mike says, honey, you were overreacting, and you know that you've been obsessing over this shop too much. That makes the rest of us feel very ignored and excluded. I hope you understand that. Whew. At a work scenario, Sophie has been working in her department for the past 5 years. When she is given a promotion to migrate to another level of the company that pays a higher salary, however, Sophie has been given a trial period to determine whether she is capable of filling her duties or not. Nervously, she meets with her supervisor, Kelly. At first, Sophie likes her new supervisor and fills all her tasks on time. However, her supervisor begins to ask her to do belittling chores and favors here and there with increasing frequency. While Sophie is fine with helping out, she finds that Kelly is becoming more and more demanding. Finally, as Sophie works piles up to an unbearable level, she tells Kelly that she needs to focus on completing her work, but she can help another time. Later in the staff meeting, Kelly introduces Sophie to everyone and says, although she's not keeping up with us yet, I'm sure she'll learn to embody our hardworking ethics soon. Immediately, Sophie blushes and feels publicly insulted and humiliated, fearing for the security of her new job. Later, when Sophie asks her supervisor why she thinks that she is not embodying their hard work ethic, her supervisor says, I think you misunderstood me. I just said that you're not used to our pace of work so that other people can help you out. From then on, Sophie accepts all extra demands and chores, no matter how much work she has, and how demeaning the tasks are. So, how to know whether someone is gaslighting? Gaslighting is so harmful because it promotes anxiety, depression, and with enough frequency in our lives, can sometimes trigger nervous breakdowns. So the question now is, are you being gaslighted? How would you know whether you experience this subtle form of manipulation in your life? Review the following telltale signs. So, 1, something is off about your friend, partner, blah, blah, but you can't quite explain it or pinpoint it. 2, you have frequent second guess your ability to remember the details of past events, leaving you psychologically powerless. My ex did this a lot to me. He would always say, "Well, that didn't happen. Well, that didn't happen. You're making it up," but when really it did. You feel confused, disoriented, you feel threatened and on edge around this person, but you don't know why. You feel the need to apologize all the time for what you do. You never quite feel good enough. You feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with you, like you're necrotic or abusing it. You feel like you're constantly overreacting or too sensitive. You find it hard to trust your own judgment. You feel scared and so something is terribly wrong. You find it hard to make decisions because you distrust yourself. You feel guilty not feeling happy like you used to. You become afraid of speaking up or expressing your emotions, so you stay silent. So that's it. So there's subtle techniques they can do. So I mentioned discrediting you, using a mask of confidence, assertiveness, and or fake compassion. "Oh, you have it all wrong. I'm sorry. Let me clear things up for you." Changing the subject. Minimizing, so they might minimize everything. Denial and avoidance. "Oh, you're lying. I never said that." Twisting everything and reframing it. So one thing is, "I didn't beat you up, Johnny. I just smacked her on the head. That's all." Well, that's what all good fathers do. So they'll twist it around. So empaths tend to get gaslighted quite a bit. First, so some ways to support yourself is clarify to yourself how and when and who is gaslighting you. Pay attention to the signs of being gaslighted. Decide whether it's worth continuing your friendship or relationship or not. Talk to a trusted friend or lover. Shift your perspective and read emotional abuse articles to deepen your understanding on the topic. So I wouldn't say my ex, was gaslighting me, but he did use a lot of those tactics. So I don't know if there's a fine line somewhere in between those or not. He actually always accused me of gaslighting him every single time I said something. I think that in itself is a way of gaslighting. Because you'd be like, "Oh, you're just gaslighting me. You're just trying to manipulate." I was just trying to say how I felt. By hearing that, you tend to second guess yourself, and But anyway, thanks for watching.